Heyo!
Hello, everybody. We are.
We're back with some guests,
Yeah, they came back for a second time.
so they must really like you, because they're not yours.
They can't stand me,
That's
so
definitely true. I can't stand you half the time.
well, that's good to know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, are you taking her back?
Nope.
Take who back?
I'll give you the 2 bananas and an apple that you charged me for.
They want goats now. You have to give them goats if you're going to give me back.
Sorry,
to them.
if you don't have Avalanche, I can't take her back.
So before we get deep into this video, her parents are back, and we're getting married
Backstreet's back.
this summer, and the 2 bananas and orange joke right there that I mentioned. When my parents were getting married, my great grandfather, was in the late stages or early stages of dementia. And
Late stages of his life.
yeah, late stages of his life, early stages of dementia. He looked at my dad because my dad asked him if he could have his granddaughter's hand in marriage. And he said, for 2 bananas and an orange, she's yours. So, Donnie, do I have to give you 2 bananas and an
I
orange
said
back and
it
you take her
has
back?
to be goats. Only goats. And then he can take me back with the
As
goats.
long as my orange is peeled, that's good.
All right.
No, I want Avalanche.
I was about to say, you won't be eating the oranges in the house because Missy Moo down here does not like citrus.
See?
And she could stay in her room.
No. Yeah, yes, now. Okay. So here we go. So today's topic, we're going to talk about trailers. If we owned a park, what would we all camp in a park? We all camp within 45 feet of each other.
That far?
I
think
don't
it's
even
like-
think it's that far.
Actually, no. I think it's more than that. It just depends on the foot you're talking about.
Yeah, if
It
we're
takes
going
me
by
more steps
Cassie's
than you.
feet.
Yeah, if we're going by anybody in this family's feet, it's more like 130.
My mom has average size feet.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who doesn't have average size feet.
No, you got Aunt Kathy's.
Excuse me, folks.
In
Steps.
what world does that woman over there have average size feet? It's
My
more
feet are
like a
8.
She's a size 8.
holy.
She has a
And
normal
women.
woman's foot.
She has a hobbit foot.
In women's.
No, Cassie's got
Size
Kathy and Donnie's sister Kathy. That's whose feet she's got. Kathy's got little tiny feet too.
So your mom is very short, big feet.
Yep.
Hobbit. It's a hobbit. Does she,
I
Donnie,
like
does
that
she
movie.
have
Do you
hair
want
on
to
her
see
toes?
me be a hobbit, buddy?
Donnie, does she have hair on her toes? Because if she does, it's
I
pure
try
on
to
hobbit.
stay away from our feet.
I stay away from
I'm
my
just
feet.
saying, if there's hair on the toes, it's hobbitish.
Have you ever seen my feet during the summer?
Do you want to talk about hair on the toes, or are we going to talk about the trailer?
I have big feet, but I'm a big person.
This has gone so
Off topic.
So off topic, yeah. So yeah, they're back. Welcome to my mini me.
Back again.
Twinners.
We did not plan this, but we are twinning. So it's my mini me because if you look at the camera, look at the
He looks
difference.
like a mini me.
Look at the difference. That's all I'm gonna say. Look at the difference. But no, we're gonna talk about trailers. We do camp in a campground, but we're not gonna talk about our own. We're gonna talk about if we started one tomorrow. What do we think
Are things that you need in it.
exactly?
Like, what is going to attract other people to come to your park?
Newfies.
Newfies.
So
Newfoundland.
I would say the first thing for me that I want in a park is lots. Like I want
You want good sized lots.
individual
not
like
these
pads.
crappy little lots that are going on.
Yeah, I want like what's the park somebody was telling us they were at, and they have like 1/4 acre lots. Like they have giant lots.
They have beautiful lots.
So I would want if I'm starting a park today, every trailer that's in there has a fairly sized.
Well, every lot should
Lot.
have almost like a backyard lot, like an average size backyard.
80 by 80 feet. It's a perfect size lot.
So says the designer. 80-80.
80 by 8.
Right now, I think we are 40 by 60. Are we?
We
Or I don't
used
even
to
think.
be-
I don't even think we're that.
We
used to
used to
be
be 40 by 60.
Yeah.
I believe we are now supposed to be 40 by 80.
Yeah,
Or-
you know what? I think that makes a little
Or
bit
are we
more
20
sense.
by 80?
Because we're longer instead of wider.
No,
I,
we'd
I
be.
think we're 20 by 80.
Oh, maybe, yeah. You know
I
what,
think we're 20 by 80.
Yeah. That's more reasonable, 20 than 40.
But like even if you look at our lot now, if you go from our deck to like, you know, like the tree line in amongst where
Yeah.
like the water runs,
Yep.
I think that'd be like the perfect size lot,
I agreed.
right? It gives you enough room that you could throw a party on your lot, or you can do like you can play on your lot without giving you too much space or not enough space. Like right now, once you build a deck, we don't have enough space.
No.
We might throw a Google Earth image of our lot up so we can show you guys in comparison what we're talking about. We're
But
just
an
talking about our
average-sized
lot. Nobody knows
backyard.
what it looks like.
Like even our backyard now, like our backyard, I think is a perfect size lot.
Again, we'll throw a Google Earth image up.
Or we'll take a picture.
Your house backyard?
Yeah.
No, that's an 80 by 80. Oh, with your trailer and your deck already
No.
built.
The backyard of the house.
Oh yeah. With so say like the house was the trailer, and then
Okay.
you have the deck, and then you'd have your whatever backyard is
Then
there.
that on top of
still-
it?
yeah,
Yes, that'd
yeah.
be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I won't disagree there because maybe a hair
You
bigger,
shouldn't-
but
you shouldn't disagree.
okay. Yeah, I won't. I won't.
You're
Now,
dealing with women now, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
now is we'll start here and then go over there and then go to you. Is there something in the park that you would want personally? Anything?
Pool.
So you want a pool?
More horseshoe pits.
So you're thinking pool and horseshoe pits more for kids and
Adults
Adults.
and
And-
big kids.
And a nice sized park for the kids.
coming from the man who has grandchildren, I can see it.
8 of them.
He is a grandchild, basically. It's the
We're
size of
hoping
them.
he'll grow up with the grandkids.
Hopefully.
Um,
He didn't grow up with the kids, so.
Nope.
So
He's on
it's
his
now
third back
turned to
now.
the Smurfs' turn to answer this question. You're in blue.
Is
so
that because I'm in blue?
Blue,
It's
yeah.
pretty blue again. I gotta push the blue. You know I gotta push the blue.
and if you
Still our
notice,
bestseller.
if you notice, guys,
See?
we're all in our own merch. We're in
Trailer
Trailer Park
Park
Fires
Fires.
gear.
Okay, what's your question to Smurf?
A Smurf?
Smurfette, sorry?
What? A Smurfette?
I don't know if I want to be called Smurf. The last mother that was called Smurf? Like, really?
Smurfette?
No, I wasn't thinking
Question to
Smurfette.
Smurfette?
My question. Oh no.
My question to you.
So my question to you is, what would you want in the park?
You can't
If-
say what Dad said.
Okay.
If you owned, if you
If
bought
I-
a park tomorrow, and
Things
you owned
that
it,
I.
He kind of took all the good ones.
he did. He
No,
did.
well, I would like to make sure that there'd be activities for both young and old.
Mhm.
And like, I mean, either like we young, taught like
We old.
kid, teenager, adult, and then
Older
older,
generation, yeah.
like whether it's cards, horseshoes, darts, whatever entertainment, crafts, dances. I would like to make sure there's some form of entertainment all the time,
Mhm.
not just on Saturday, like each day of the week, especially throughout the summer or throughout the season. What else?
I think I have a really good one.
Okay, you go then.
Yeah.
We can go back to her.
A restaurant / store. Like a store, obviously, just for convenient stuff, as in like maybe some candy for the kids, like we always had growing up.
Yeah.
But also a restaurant where when somebody doesn't want to cook on a Sunday morning,
Yes.
they can go in and make like have breakfast served to them, and then be able to like leave or go back to their trailer or whatever. But it's also a way that a portion of that money can go back into the park.
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I think that one would be golden.
Yeah.
Do you
I
have another
love
one?
it.
How do I word this? Hiking or bike paths.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Ooh.
like something
Like a running
form
path.
of
You-
an
yeah,
outdoor
You just stole
activity.
one of mine.
Like
Yeah.
sorry,
That's-
yeah, like
Running
running path,
path,
a
hiking
bike,
path,
a
yeah.
hike, something
to give them more things to
Exercise.
do.
More
Just
It's a
more.
thing
Yeah.
now.
For me, I would want to park like a parking lot right at the front. As soon as you come in the park,
that's where you're at the park.
that's where your parking spot is your lot number. You have to have a golf cart. I don't want any cars in the park.
The only thing with that is you then have to take everything out of your vehicle, put it all on the golf cart to bring down to your trailer.
Maybe we set the rule at you can bring your car down to empty it,
And then it has to come up.
then it has to
I
come
can
up.
see that.
So, we've experienced it in our park
Mhm.
where cars go by our lots and actual full size cars, not golf carts, full size cars go by our lot so fast.
Mhm.
If a kid runs out,
They're gone.
boom, they're going to the hospital. They're going to be seriously hurt
Mhm.
because some people can't respect speeds.
Yep.
So,
Some
if it's a
people,
golf
most
cart,
people. They're less likely to hurt somebody.
it's a lot smaller, can't go as fast as a normal size car, everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think there'd be less chance to endanger a child.
Very true.
So that would be my big one
Mhm.
is golf carts are throughout the park. No cars, no actual cars in the park unless you're dropping stuff off.
I'd also have, I know this isn't like an item or anything, but like a 3-strike rule, and that's it. Like 1 strike, 2 strike, 3 strike, you're gone.
Now, that was going to be my next thing. Would you create
Reading
what
lines.
rules would you guys bring in?
Well, Cassie would bring in the 3
Three
strike
strike
rule.
Yeah, Cassie's bringing in the 3-strike rule.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely do some kind of a noise control. Whether it's 11
Yep.
p.m. to 8 a.m. or
I'd say midnight to
you
9.
know, some form
weekend.
you have to, because to satisfy all of your tenants, there's going to be people who want to party all at night, where other people, yeah, they don't mind partying, but by midnight, okay, tone it down.
Yeah, I got kids.
Right?
kind of
So,
thing,
you
yeah.
know, and that's different ages. I've seen young ones
Mm-hmm.
yell and scream because their little ones are sleeping
Actually,
and the partying's going on at 2:00 in the morning.
I'm going to say this. If that's a rule, if you're enforcing it for one,
For
You have to
everyone.
enforce
enforce it for all.
Yes.
Also,
We experienced it this year
yeah,
where we were on a lot. The
they were told to turn it
the
down.
general manager come over, told him to turn it down. But yet 3 lots up and on the other side of the road, the party was still going until 1 in the morning
and that was
And
okay.
nothing was-
and nothing was said.
yeah, no.
We experienced it on our own lots this year. Your nephew got told to turn down his party. 2 lots up was still going, and they're on the same road.
Touching on the noise thing too, I think I would want to bring in some type of you have a noisy corner and you have a quiet corner kind of thing.
Oh, so you have your partiers.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
your partiers all in one section. You have the people who don't want to party, the
Yes.
older generation or just the quiet generation in one area so that you can separate the two.
I
Oh,
don't like that.
we have a disagreement in the
I
house.
do not like that.
I think that would
Because I like to wander.
be... You can totally wander.
But if they're not partying, I don't want to go
You
over
just have to
there.
wander in one section.
Yeah.
But you're
You can
It's
stay
easier
closer
to
to
get
home
home.
when you're
Yeah,
wandering.
it's
I
easier
have
to
a
get
big
home.
wander, you know.
but you're the
You
same
can
person.
wander in the quiet section.
You'll be able
But
to find
you
your
just have
cooler.
to be quiet.
You'll
But
be able
you
to find
would-
your cooler.
You would have to be in the loud section because I've experienced it this year. My mother-in-law has gone to bed or in the trailer.
Not
You've had a
you.
few bevies in your your belly, and you're out there listening to the old. I don't want to say classic rock, but you're listening to your classic rock music by yourself, 1 a.m, and every lot around you can hear it. But then you bring it up. We bring it up the next morning. Hey, Donnie, were you jamming out last night?
No.
No.
You could hear it because that part of it's open. Those other people can't hear it because my gazebo's
In
closed.
Dad's defense, you can't actually hear his music over the music that's still playing 2 trailers up.
Oh, I can't disagree there. But no, I'm just saying, like,
and you
I
can't hear anything over your AC, so I don't know what you're complaining
I
about.
agree with her. I think there should be a quiet section, and
A lot of public parks
yeah,
do have your quiet section, your noisy
Noisier
section, I
yeah.
guess it is.
Like, there's still
Yeah.
going to be rules put in place. Obviously, you still have to turn it down at a certain time. But, like, say, quiet time is always kind of thing. And, like you have your loud
Yeah.
area. I think that would work out a little bit
You
better.
put all the
You'd have
newsies
less
in the
people.
noisy section
You'd have less people
and every other
complaining,
nationality in the
to be
quiet
honest.
section.
but I'm gonna throw this one out and screw the noisy, non-noisy.
Well, you don't like my rule?
No, no,
Get the heck out.
I'm not saying that I
This
don't
is
like.
my park.
But I'm just saying, screw it. Throw that out. Throw that rule out. We're not abiding by it.
I'm throwing you out.
I'm going to say, older section that doesn't have kids, like maybe has grandkids, but doesn't have kids or don't have grandkids yet. Kids are a little older, don't want to be at the park. And a section where it's just kids, because I find they'll get together and play better or easier if they're
I personally
sectioned
think
out.
you either have a family park or you don't have a family park. Because what happens when you have that section of kids, like that section where kids are allowed, and that section where kids aren't allowed and only adults, what happens when those kids grow up or they start having kids?
Do you agree?
Then they have to
agree.
switch lots.
What happens with the grandparents when they want to bring up their grandchildren and they can't because they're
Well, they
in
move
the
their trailer. No, I'm
They're
joking.
in the old age
Yeah.
section now.
And that's
Like,
why.
I can see where you're coming because it would be then the ones that don't want to be around kids can have their little area, and then you have your kid area.
But it'd
So
be
I can see
basically
your-
like a
but
resort kind of thing, you know? Like
That's-
you have adult only resorts, you have children friendly resorts. You just got to choose what your
Yeah.
life is going to more look like. Like if you're choosing never to have kids, then yeah, don't go into the family park if you don't care for kids.
But I'm gonna say this, and like I get your point, and I'm not disagreeing with your point, but you can't tell me every grandparent, and I know a few grandparents,
Mhm.
some are here. You can't tell me you want your grandkids there every fucking
Oh, definitely
weekend.
not.
No, but there is times
You can't
where
tell me you don't.
I do
You want
them
that.
there.
Oh, I know, but
She's
But-
going to want my kid
I
there
would-
all the time because she's going to have the kid
Yeah,
there all
hung
the
in the
time.
tree.
I would say, like, if you're having your grandkids up, yeah, it's acceptable. Let's say we're open for, let's say, 16 weeks of the year. You can have them up for 8. But the other 8,
But then you have the problem that there's always going to be kids in the area because that person might not have their grandkids up,
that weekend.
but
True,
somebody
true.
else would,
okay.
right?
Apparently, my idea is shit.
No, I'm just,
It's not. It's just
we're weighing the options, right?
Okay,
So we're going to throw
Devil's
that one out
advocate.
the window.
okay, you're the next rule.
You want me to save your ass, do you?
Please,
if
please
you
save
have a
my
big-
fucking ass.
actually, if you have big enough property, you can kind of do something like that. If they're like kind of sectioned off, like our park now,
Yep.
we have this side of the bridge, that side of the bridge. So, say on each side of the bridge. So on our side of the bridge, say we have the noisy on one end, and we have the kids on the other end. Across the bridge, you
It's all
have
quiet.
more of the old age where you've got to be, 50 or older to camp out over there. And then you have
Like
the
the
ones
younger
over here
ones.
that don't want kids.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, if you end up meeting someone and one day wanting to have kids, well, sorry, you got to leave that section. You go over to the kids section.
Yeah.
Like you could do something like that if you have enough property and
To
you
space
can
them out.
separate so that the noisy isn't bothering the quiet.
Yeah.
The kids
And you tell the
isn't
kids not to
bothering.
cross the bridge.
Yeah. Like, sorry, the kids aren't allowed to cross the bridge. There's
Yeah,
nothing
but
over
when
there
And they
for
shouldn't
them.
be crossing
When
the
it
bridge.
comes from, it comes up to old people, young people, right? There's old people that like to party all the time.
So says the man.
And those old people
Well,
can sit in
it's
the party
true.
section.
But those
That's-
old
that's
people
what I
have that
mean. They
choice.
should-
You have that choice.
They should get the choice. If
Oh, yeah,
they
no,
wanna hang
you
around
do.
there.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
choose where
Yeah.
you get to go. You just have to be 50 plus to be in the 50 plus zone.
Yeah.
That'd
If
be
you
about the
want
only
to
rule.
camping, you have
If
to
you're
be.
if you're a young
KOAs have that.
if you're a young couple and you don't like
Who has that?
you don't have
KOAs.
kids but you're gonna have kids
KOAs.
eventually,
K-
you can go into the family section.
Yeah,
you
if
want
that's
to.
where
Yeah.
you want to be to begin with, that's fine.
You don't
if
have to
wanna-
have kids to be in the family section.
No, but
No.
KOAs has a senior section. A KOAs are campgrounds. There's one near Barrie, or two near Barrie. But KOAs have like a senior section, but they also have a quiet section too.
Yeah.
So they have that.
We wouldn't find those sections.
No, fuck no.
No.
I hope they put them right in the back corner.
Now, this might be a very touchy subject in this room because we all like to have a few beverages.
I don't.
No.
Bullshit. I'm going to say
Few's
this.
only
You,
3. I'd rather have
bullshit.
4 or 5 or 6.
I'm going to
I
say.
only have a few.
Yeah. I'm going to say this. I think there should
Too
be
many.
a drunk rule too. If you're too drunk,
If you're falling in fire pits.
yeah. If
Or
you're
drinks.
falling in fire
I mean,
pits
in the
or
drink.
rivers or
I will heal.
any of those no, I believe if you're too drunk to have a conversation, it almost goes with the 3 strike rule. Like you can drink to a certain amount. Don't overindulge in it.
I think if you're gonna
Don't be stupid.
drunk, you have stay on your own lot and be drunk.
Yeah. Stay
Don't
on
make
your
it
own.
anybody else's
Why
responsibility.
can't
Exactly.
they make a leash for me, just like they have the kids?
We didn't say you.
Who said we were talking about you?
Oh, I already know you are.
Actually,
No.
there's a few others
Yeah.
that shouldn't go off their
Like,
lots.
You are most of the time, and I say most of the time, we've had our discussions on this. Most of the time, you're good when you drink, and when I drink, like
But everybody
our
at
neighbors,
some point hits that
Yeah.
over the
yeah,
edge.
We
but
all do
I
that.
would say all our neighbors, between all our neighbors, we're really good when we have too much in our ass. We know, like,
To go to bed.
okay, I'm about to puke, or
I've had way too much.
Yeah, I said something stupid. I should leave. We all know when we got to that point.
Mm-hmm.
But we've experienced, and I hit
Other
you because we've
idiots.
experienced it. Me and you have experienced it where people don't know when they've got there, and
And
they
they
just keep going,
And fall asleep anywhere.
or
Whatever else.
tell stories and.
Speaking of rules, what is our rule going to be on fires?
If you can't keep a fire going for 3 days, you don't belong in this park.
Here's my sign.
I'm
you
in the
have
park.
to kind of keep some form of control because, unfortunately, no matter what, drinking's involved.
Yep.
And that's where it gets out of hand. So you do, like, I could fully understand when our owners came through and said no more skids. When they originally started burning skids, 1 skid. Then, oh, let's do 2, let's do 3, let's do 4. When you're talking 5 skids on 1 fire pit,
Yeah.
I've been
that's
at
a
one with
little
6.
danger. Exactly. Like, and people
And a
always have
doghouse.
to give them a foot, they take a yard. So,
And that's the whole thing. And
You
like people
do.
complain
Yeah,
about
and
rules
unfortunately,
like that for
that's
that
why
reason.
you always have to have rules because someone has to ruin it, and it's for everyone.
And you always have to go, like, say, oh, it's 5 kilometers, but you can actually go 10 kilometers. they have to say 5 because you're gonna have those people who times 5 by 5.
Yeah.
So
The sun's gonna come up.
I'm just going to be a devil's advocate for the person that put the 5 skids in the doghouse on. Would you kick them out of the park?
Yeah.
I would remove them.
I would. That's just stupidity.
No, they get a
So-
warning first. Sorry.
No, that's just plain stupidity.
I'm just going to look
If
at.
there is a rule against skids, they would be removed.
If an
Right away.
accident happens, that's fine. Then you kick him out, but he should get the warning first.
I'm just going to look at the.
3 strikes and you're out.
I'm just going to look straight in the camera right now and go, Duncan, Tammy, the other
No,
Tammy's
because
kicking you out of the
now-
park.
When you come in, you will sign a lease, an agreement. There will be that rule in there. So if I've got a rule in there that says no skids on fires, and you want to put 5 skids and a doghouse,
That fire was huge.
okay, yeah, you're gone right away. You're gone. No ifs, ands, buts about it.
I saw
Duncan,
it
I'll
from
keep
my
you
lot.
at the park.
One
Well-
rule that I definitely will keep, and that will be from the original owners of our park. No, not the original, the next. Well, I guess both.
The same
Well,
family.
Yeah. So when you get kicked out,
Yeah.
you have 24 hours to get your shit together and get out.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Duncan and Tammy, you're still at the park. You're still out.
I'll
Now,
keep you in. I'll keep you in.
I'm
Duncan.
just
I
gonna
got you.
I'd actually keep Tammy and Duncan.
I'm just.
See, and this is the problem because now we're going. We shouldn't be
But
picking
they're
and
family.
choosing.
No, I'm gonna say
But
this.
they're family. You,
Somebody else has to kick them
Be-
out.
yeah,
Yeah,
not us.
because I do believe it was your brother-in-law who was the caretaker at our park when the doghouse.
There's no brother-in-laws around here. We
the
don't
do-
know what you're
He
talking
was
about.
at the party, was he not?
Well, the dog.
He was probably the one that put the doghouse
No.
on the fire.
No, I still remember to this day. The doghouse went on the fire. He came down in the truck, saw the size of the fire, came over, and we knew he was going to say, the fire's got to go. We also knew that the man liked to have a couple drinks. So we offered it a beer.
Yeah.
And then we offered
Man
it
doesn't take
another
a
one.
beer.
And then we offered another and another and another.
And then he was like, put another skid on.
No, he then said, "All right, guys, fire's under control. Have a good night." And he kept on driving. He never told us to calm down the fire. He just 6
But
beers
see,
in.
Actually,
All right, we're good.
talking about that, and like we all have seen it. We've all heard of it.
We've all experienced it.
I think that would be the major issue is the fact that you have to make the rules apply to everyone,
yes.
not only certain people. Like we touched on earlier, where we're all going, no, we wouldn't actually kick you out. But
Yeah, her mom and dad were still at the trailer, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to say this. Here's a big one for me, and I think we're all in agreement. Golf carts, cool to drive. When you've had one too many drinks,
No.
it should be the same.
the golf carts
rule.
get put on a lot and stay there.
Yeah.
It should be the same as you should be 16 or older to drive
Yes.
a golf cart, just like you have to be to drive a vehicle.
I'm not disagreeing there, but we've been at a party on somebody's lot,
Quite a few.
yes, that somebody got behind the wheel of a golf cart
Drive up a slide.
and drove up a slide. Like we've all experienced that one.
Now,
Like,
would you kick them out, or would it be a warning?
there-
That would be
strike one.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be a warning. Yes, it's stupid. But yeah, that would be a warning. And it would probably be too, you're not allowed to drive in the park for a certain amount of time.
Like a
Just
couple
so
weeks.
they
You
so
have to
that
learn.
they can fully understand that you've done wrong.
But I also think, like in the real world, you have to pay a fine, and
Yeah.
you have to do certain things.
Well, then I'm never leaving my lot.
Then possibly pay, like, let's say a $20 or $50 fine.
Mhm.
You were too drunk and you drove. Here's
And
a
then that
$50
money
fine.
goes towards like something for the
Something,
park.
yeah.
Yep, for
And-
that slide to be fixed.
Like if you don't want to pay the fine, let's just say I'm not fucking paying the fine. Then, all right, you've got to go around and clean, let's say, the kid area. You got to
Probation.
you got to pick up all the garbage.
It should be as simple as if you don't want to pay the fine, you have to either do something else to, like, deal with what you wronged or leave.
Now, the man of few words over here. Do you have any rules that you would hammer in?
Only beer.
No, I don't like rules.
See, I know, but you brought up one, Cass, and
don't like rules.
I know somebody at this table is going to not like it. No beer bottles.
Well, that one,
You
On your
can't
own lot,
really.
it's
Okay.
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 Yeah, that's the whole
My
thing.
thing
On
is
your own
No
lot,
when
beer
you're
it's
bottle
okay.
or no
There was a
glass
reason I brought that one up.
objects
just
in public places.
exactly.
That I can
That's
agree
my
with.
rule.
No glass bottles,
Mm-hmm.
no
At
glass.
all.
What did I say? Containers.
Beverages.
No,
No glass containers
Yeah.
in public places.
I agree with that.
Which means
Choke on it.
which means
beer bottles, pop bottles, glass dishes, any kind of a glass.
in
that-
public areas.
Yeah. Now, if you're on your lot and you have a glass beer bottle, that's on your lot.
They got to make a Yeti bottle that's shaped as a beer bottle. That's not glass.
I
That
100%.
would be perfect.
See, I
Yeti, reach
100%
out to
agree
me.
with you.
Reach out to
That
me.
would
I
be
got
perfect.
ideas.
I think there's also there's an issue. You drink cans. You drink bottles.
hmm
I drink hard liquor.
Me too.
Which is also a bottle.
But in our park, and I think the rules should change. In our park, yes, you can have bottles in public areas. You can have cans. I totally agree there.
Mhm.
But I can bring up a glass bottle of vodka.
Nope.
And I'm allowed to do it.
That's still a glass
Because-
container.
But
My-
right, he's saying right now,
Oh,
you
I
can do
thought
that.
I didn't think you were allowed to do that.
I think
Yeah.
I
I would have
I
assumed
They
think
that.
you
all
can.
have
You
glass.
can
Yeah,
bring
but
it
I
up in
don't
the
think
cooler.
it's still technically allowed, even in the cooler.
I can it can
I
be in the
think
cooler,
it should
but
have
what
to be in a different bottle. In my
she can bring up her glass beer bottle in a cooler.
Yeah, but when she brings it out, she's drinking it, right?
When I bring it out, I'm still drinking it too. I'm just not drinking out of the bottle.
And there is actually some of them that do drink right from the bottle.
I'm just you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
But
No,
that's why you
but-
have no glass container, which
Exactly.
means you need to take your liquor to a public area. You're pouring your liquor into a plastic
I thi-
bottle container,
I
whatever.
think you should be forced to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
like a water. You can even put it into like a water
that
bottle.
means
or
I
something.
think
you
they
want to
should make
bring
a sleeve
fruit
for a
down to the
Yeti
water.
That you could
It's
make
in a
drink into
plastic
it
container,
to keep
not in
it cold.
glass. No glass outside of your.
Oh,
lot.
you're talking about like a sleeve like this.
But make a sleeve that goes inside so that you can make a drink into it and it's not actually sitting on the silver. You know what I mean?
I do know what you
Or
mean.
even like you
And
know
you
how
have to
like
keep it
the
cold.
old koozies, like the old beer koozies, like
Yep.
you have, like really for that, like
Are you
how
calling
do
mother
you
old?
how do you argue with that though? Because yes, it's a glass, but
But that you
if it
don't.
was to break inside of the koozie,
It still smashes.
but
Yeah.
you're not getting the glass everywhere else.
Yes, you are.
Not always, because they don't go right up and cover the
I
whole
guess so,
bottle,
yeah.
right?
They still smash.
No, I would say
I was trying to help
my
you guys
rule
out.
would be no glass
No glass at
container
all.
whatsoever in public places.
And like we were talking about fires earlier. How I would if we owned a park today, how I would make our roads were like circles. A line with a little circle. It'd be only like one trailer, line, and then a circle. So it'd be a cul-de-sac pretty much. And you'd have instead of everybody having a fucking fire pit
You'd have one,
and
community
you're
fire
spending
plate.
$300 on a fire pit. Everybody is. You just have one community fire pit.
per
you just
circle.
chip in for the wood.
Like you have around your house over there,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yep. Where you just it's a community fire pit. Because
So you have
you're
like
s-
3 or 4 trailers circling that
Yep.
one fire pit, and then the next one would be 3
Exactly,
or 4.
My
because-
only
circling
question there:
yeah.
what if you don't like your neighbors?
And that could happen.
You go at different times.
Or you
You still
find
were
or you
separate
find people
times.
that you do like,
And you go to
and
their
you go
fire
to
pit?
their fire pit.
I
I'm
guess
not
so,
saying you
yeah.
have to stay at your
It's
own.
just
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
I'm just thinking to save people money, make a community fire pit for, let's say, 10 trailers. Blah. If you want to
Blah.
party at that one, go.
Ugh.
And like, I also think if,
I think 10's too many.
so do I. I just threw it out there as an even number, but like, also think if it's a community fire pit, then the park should be providing the wood per day. If you want that fire to go 3 days in a row without going out, like I have,
Many times.
You have to portion out your
no,
And if we
wood.
could
you
correct
bring
that,
your
that
own
was
wood.
4 days.
You bring
Oh.
your own wood to keep it going, but you get this allotment of wood per day. It's saving your campers money, and I think they would appreciate it.
Mhm.
and
more
of course
if
that
you
would
ha-
be
if you have
involved
to-
in their lot fee.
And exactly. But also, you could do like what you were saying. You could do that and make it where like fires are only to be had between like 3 and 11. So they
Hey
can
now, I can't agree with that one.
No, but I'm just
The
saying
only
because
thing with
you're
that
gonna have
is-
some people who take advantage of that and have a fire 24/7.
Which is true.
And yes, I understand like at some point you have to pay for your own wood, but the problem is you can't have a fire on a lot that you are not sitting on, which you like to do.
Not true.
True.
I just start
Just
fire
like there
for
should
people.
always be somebody on a lot that there is a fire on.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't disagree there. I can't disagree. If you're gonna start a fire, stick around.
Put it out.
Any other rules, regulations, items that you would add, fun things to add to our non-existent park?
I have a couple.
Well, see, this is going to be my park. I don't want anybody to fucking bother me.
Actually, I can come up with another rule. You can only wear Trailer Park Fire merch.
Oh, I
There
love
you
it. Another one for me is if you have a river or a body of water
Mhm.
in it or around it, whatever.
Don't swim in it when you're drunk.
That only wear life preserver. That goes for you.
Wear life
that goes for you. You should
There
I was
should
thinking
always
about
be a
getting
That
one of
doesn't
those
stop
that you
you
can
from
wear
banging your
underneath your
head, okay?
clothes.
getting floaties.
Yeah, one of those that you can wear underneath your clothes. When it goes in, you can just pull the thing and
It just explodes.
Fuck it. I'm gonna buy in a Mustang suit. If anybody knows, that's what fishermen wear in Newfoundland when they go like deep off the water, like 20 or 200 miles out. They buy Mustang suits because they blow up as soon as they touch water. You're getting one this year.
What
They're
happens when
expensive,
they
but-
fall in the fire pit.
Fuck.
Does it, like melt.
It's gotta
Okay,
be- hey,
here's
it's
what we're
gotta
gonna
be
do. So we're
fireproof,
gonna make
too.
it two. We're gonna get a fireman suit and a Mustang suit. He wears the Mustang suit, then the fire suit. If he burns through the fire suit, he must jump in the
What
water with
happens
his
when
Mustang
he's
suit
hot?
on.
Gotta go in the
But
fire
Bradley,
pit
I'm
before he
gonna
goes
be
in the
like
water.
surrounded by women then with a fireman suit on. What's wrong with you?
You're not that hot.
When you
No.
got that, it's a whole different story, buddy.
No, I think if you have a river or lake, whatever, in your park, there is to be no.
No trailers should be around it.
I no, you shouldn't be able to like sit in it with beer cans.
Mm.
Like yes, sit in it, but don't
Litter.
sit in it and I'm done this beer.
But see-
Like take your beer can and put it in the thing, and then you fill all in.
The problem
Now your
is
beer can's
there
gone.
is that's never been a rule because that's just supposed to be common sense and common courtesy. You're just supposed to not do it.
Yeah.
True.
You're supposed to
True.
respect your earth. And there's too many ignorant people in the world who don't care.
We cleaned up somebody's lot last year or 2 years ago. We got in the river and did it.
Mm-hmm.
There were so many cinder blocks, bags of I don't even want to fucking know, There was what else was there? Deck pieces of deck.
Oh, all kinds of crap.
There were so much shit in it that I literally went like, what the?
But see, in that case, I don't think it was just simply like people throwing that stuff in the water. I think it just came down to all the flooding that we had going on. A lot
To
of
a
that
point.
had to do with that stuff as
Yeah.
well. I'm not saying like, oh, people didn't do it. I'm just saying some of that had to do with flooding as well. It wasn't just specifically people throwing in cinder blocks.
But I also
But I think like people should be cleaning out the river.
I also think if you own the park, and if we owned a park tomorrow, guys,
I thought we were making our own park.
we are.
Okay.
We like let's say it's just me and Donnie. We have to before any camper comes in for the beginning of the season. We have to go through that park. If there's a limb down, if there's a
Yes.
tree down,
Yes.
if there's something down in the river, whatever, it doesn't matter. Wherever it's down, we got to go in and clean
should
it
be
up
done at the-
before the camper comes in.
Yep.
It should be done at the beginning of the year before the campers come in the middle of the year,
Yeah.
and at the end of the year.
Well, I was going to bring that up too when you guys started talking about the kids,
Mm-hmm.
safety for the kids.
Yep.
These trees need to be trimmed constantly,
Yep.
all the time.
I agree.
Otherwise, then the vehicles can see through the trees, see the
Yep.
kids.
I agree.
But I also, and I'm going to go with the kids. If you have a kid, clean up your lot.
Yes.
Clean
The
up.
lots have to be kept
Tidy.
decent,
Yeah.
tidy.
Yeah.
Yes, when your kids are out there playing and whatnot, fine. But once it's starting to become nightfall and the kids are no longer playing, stash the toys, the stuff
Have like a toy
in
box of some sort.
a toy box up against the deck. They are so dangerous at night, whether you've been drinking
Oh.
or not. They are dangerous. Guaranteed, someone's tripping over some form of toy.
I
Beca-
have.
like Cass knows this. I love to cut grass. I love being on my zero turn cutting grass.
We
And
got
I
some
think
grass
you guys
outside
know
that
that
needs to
too.
be cut.
If I owned a park, I'm not going to let camper. I'm going to charge campers like let's say an extra $35 on their fees, but I'm going to cut everybody's lawn. Their lots would be cut by me. If I run over a toy,
That's on
Oh,
them.
wow.
that's on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, clean up your lot.
Grass
before
is
you
cut
leave.
every Wednesday.
Mhm.
Make sure your lot is cleaned up. It will be cut.
Yep.
And if anything is destroyed because you have left it out, that's on you.
And honestly, actually, I think that might be like a good idea. Is just instead of people buying their own lawnmowers, you have
Yeah.
the park do it, and you just add that. I know, like it will make it seem like the lot fee is so much more expensive, but when you're thinking of all the convenience
Yeah.
to that expense,
The fact that
yeah, you would still have to pay for gas to cut your grass. You'd still have to pay for something to cut your grass with. So why don't you let us do
and
it?
the time
Mhm.
when you're only up there
Mhm.
on a weekend, you spend 2-3
Yeah.
hours of a Saturday morning cutting the grass.
Mhm.
Well, now you're spending those 2-3 hours Saturday morning enjoying
Yep.
one of the activities,
Mm-hmm.
coffee, whatever.
Exactly.
We like for us, our section of trailers, we have a community lawnmower, and it's
And Brad cuts the grass.
Yeah, and I do all the touch-ups. So.
yeah,
Yeah.
you do the touch ups.
I've tried to do
Ben
the
does
touch-ups.
the
I don't
touch-ups.
like doing the
I
touch-ups.
used to. I'm not doing it no more. I'm old.
Ben and Donnie do the touch ups. I do the big areas, and that's it.
Mhm.
But like we have a community one, and like if you're not gonna if the park's not gonna do it, then possibly get a community one.
Mhm.
Just giving you guys a hint.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody pay for the machine, the other people pay for the gas.
So that's what we did.
But on that note, I think we have a decent park made up.
I think we have to.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
We got to get a general manager that's an asshole.
Well, we got to come up with our name
no,
too.
No,
Duncan.
no. We don't have a dartboard yet, or
But
No,
he
that's
had
part of the
That
That
activities.
came-
the activities.
For young, from the wee to the old.
Yeah,
You
that
have
came in with
everything.
activities.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we.
Entertainment.
But I think your general manager, before we shut this down, your general manager has to be a nice person, but an asshole at the same time.
I got a couple people in mind.
And,
So
and the
I'll
only
talk
reason
to them.
the only reason I'm saying asshole and a nice person,
They have
nice-
to have a backbone.
Mm-hmm.
they got to be nice when it's nice when it's the time to be nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
But when you got to enforce the rule, you got to turn around and go, "Fuck you." The rule is this.
Yeah.
And
Good.
now, question for our viewers: would you stay in our park? Do you agree with our rules? Comment below and let us know.
I like it. I like it.
So till next time, bye.
Bye, Newfoundland Labrador.
Bye.
Ciao.